Okay, we're going to start arm knitting. We have our 2 skeins of yarn, one with the beads, one without. We are going to get the end, 2 of them together. Let's do 2 arms length of yarn. So we have our tail, and we're going to do our slip knot here. We want to pull the yarn around and then pull it around again. I'm going to take the back loop, bring it over the front loop, pull that up, back loop, over the front loop, pull that up. We're going to put our hand through the loop, and if you pull on each side, it will tighten up. We don't want it too tight. You want to be able to get a finger in there because we're going to have to eventually take this back off our wrist. Okay, let's do the slip knot again just so you guys see. Here's the end. Okay, skeins. I'm going to take it, just put it over your hand twice. Okay. The one closer to your hand, I take that and I just go over the top of the other one. The one you want over, pull up and go back over the top of that one. Pull that up. Okay? Put your hand in that second loop you pulled up. To make it tight, pull in the 2 skeins on the tail, pull it up to your wrist. Okay? Let's do it one more time. If you did the slip knot correctly, you should be able to do this. Okay? If you get a knot there, probably didn't do it right. Let's just do it one more time. Wrap it over the hand once. Wrap it again. This is going to come over that one. Okay? Coming over. The one we went over, let's pull it up some. Okay, and let's bring it back over again. The one we went over, pull it up some, put our hand through. Okay. Now, the slip knot we're going to do, our tail is going to be super long. I was just showing this real quick in case you weren't able to tell from my other slip knot. So actually, let's do this. Let's put the skeins over here. And let's take our tail to this side. So now we're ready to start arm knitting. Okay. These 2 fingers, tail, skeins. Just bring that in. And you want to grab with these 2 fingers the yarns that you brought in. Pull your wrist down. Got a V. First one we're going under is going to be this one. So we're going to go under this, and then we're going to come over and under the one on the pointer. And see this? We're going through right here. Hand through. Tighten it up by pulling on the tail and the skeins back and forth. Again, not too tight. You want to get a finger in there. Okay, so let's do that again. We're going to cast on 6. Right now we have 2 that we have on. So, tail, skein, pointer and thumb goes in the middle in between. Pull down, The rest of the fingers can grab the yarn. I'm going to go under the thumb. Okay? Almost the whole hand. And we're going to come over and go under the pointer finger one. And as we're coming up, we should be coming through a little hole there. See that? Put your whole hand through. This stuff hanging down. I'm just going to tighten up. Okay, now we have 3 on. 6 strands, 2, 4, 6, 3 cast on though, because we're using 2 skeins of yarn. 3 more to go. Pointer thumb, put in. See that? Going in. Grab with these other fingers, hold that yarn down. Pull this wrist down. Okay. Going under our thumb loop. Get almost your whole hand in there, under the thumb loop. Come over. Let's go under the one that's on the pointer. As we go under, you want to come up, see how it's like a circle in there? And bring your hand through. You can tighten by pulling back and forth. Again, not too tight. Let's get a finger in there, okay? Okay, so let's do that again. We're going to cast on 6. Right now we have 2 that we have on. So, tail, skein, pointer and thumb goes in the middle in between. Pull down. The rest of the fingers can grab the yarn. I'm going to go under the thumb. Okay? Almost the whole hand. And we're going to come over and go under the pointer finger one. And as we're coming up, we should be coming through a little hole there. See that? Put your whole hand through. This stuff hanging down. I'm just going to tighten up. Okay, now we have 3 on. 6 strands, 2, 4, 6, 3 cast on though, because we're using 2 skeins of yarn. 3 more to go. Pointer thumb, put in. See that? Going in. Grab with these other fingers, hold that yarn down. Pull this wrist down. Okay. Going under our thumb loop. Get almost your whole hand in there, under the thumb loop. Come over. Let's go under the one that's on the pointer. As we go under, you want to come up, see how it's like a circle in there? And bring your hand through. Here we go again. Bring down. Under thumb, over and under, come through. Tighten up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 more. Grab, pull. Okay? Let's get under that thumb. Go over and get under the pointer. Come through. Hope this angle's good. So now we have our 6 on. 12 actual pieces of yarn. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We cast on 6 times because we used 2 skeins of yarn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. This is actually our first row right here, which looks like nothing right now, but we'll get there. Okay, next part. We're going to take all this yarn, we're going to put it on this wrist. Okay. Tail, here's our tail. Leave that alone. 2 skeins of yarn that are connected with the beads. Grab it. Take that first 2 strands, pull it over. Pull up that piece, and then we're going to stick our other hand right through like a bracelet. Okay? To tighten up, hold on to the pieces over here, and I just kind of push that up there. Okay? Okay, next part. We're going to take all this yarn, we're going to put it on this wrist. Okay? Tail, here's our tail. Leave that alone. 2 skeins of yarn that are connected with the beads. Grab it. Take that first 2 strands, pull it over. Pull up that piece, and then we're going to stick our other hand right through like a bracelet. Okay? To tighten up, hold on to the pieces over here, and I just kind of push that up there. Again, okay? Tail over here, working yarn over here. We need to take all these off still. Grab the working yarn. Let's pull the next loop off. Pull this through. Tighten up by cinching on the working yarn. Right hand, grab it. Take the next loop off. Pull up, go through. Tighten up, grab it, next loop's coming off, go through. Tighten up, last one. Grab it with this hand. I lied. 2 left. Take that off. Put through. Tighten up. Grab it with this hand. Last one. Pull up that. Go through. All right. We just cast on our second so we have our first one, second one. We are going to do this 26 times. So let's take all this, put it back over here. Okay, so we have our 2 rows. Here's 1, here's 2. On this 3rd row, we're going to add some beads, okay? So, we're going to add them when we go to our right hand. We'll always be adding the beads on our right hand because I'm going to do every other row instead of every row. So I don't have enough beads for that, and I don't know, might look like too many. We're gonna start on our third row. We're gonna end up doing about 26 of them. The third row is, we're gonna start adding the beads, okay? Grab with this hand, pull off the first one, put your hand through the loop, let's tighten it up. Let's add the beads to every other string, so not that one. Pull off, tighten up. I just take one bead, so here's our 2 skeins. Again, tails over here, just sliding up one bead, and I just bring it up to where I tighten up. So where I'm tightening up, I'm just gonna have the bead up there. That's it, simple. Okay, still putting these over here. Let's grab this, slide off, put through, tighten up. Grab, pull off, slide through, tighten up. Gonna grab another bead. Slide up. It's just coming up on the one string. The other string I didn't put beads on. Okay, grab, pull over, slide through. Grab both of the skeins, just tighten up. Grab, pull over, go through. Let's tighten up. Let's throw a bead on. Just slide it up, you're pre-strung. One bead. If you wanted to slide up 2 beads, go for it. Just have more in the scarf. Okay, so here's how we're looking. 1, 2, it's hard to say, 3. We actually have 3 going here. The beads are gonna they'll be in there throughout. It's gonna look weird at first as you're doing it, but when the scarf is done, it'll look great. And don't worry about if they got stuck under or over, one's here, one's over here, one's over here. Don't worry about it. It'll look good. All right, tails over here still, skeins over here, going from here to here. Grab with this hand, take the first loop, pull it through. This hand's going in. Let's tighten up. Grab with this hand, pull over, tighten up. Let's bring it. Actually, no, we're not bringing a bead up on this hand. That's how I confuse myself. So we're always going to add beads when we're on this side, okay? This side, just keep doing the same, okay? Grab this hand, pull over, through, tighten up, grab, over, through, tighten. Okay, last one, pull down, need more slack, tighten up. Okay, now we've actually done 4 rows. They're hard to count, but there's 1 on your wrist, 1 right here, 1 here, and there's the last one, okay? I'm going to add beads when we go on this side. Grab, pull that down, go through, tighten up, let's put a bead on. Just gonna slide it up. Okay, there's our bead. tightening up. Beads right there. Grab, pull the next loop off, put your hand through the loop, tighten up. All right, let's add another bead. Slide it up. Got our 2 skeins. Slide the bead up. Okay. Grab, pull that through, put your hand through, tighten, grab, pull over, through, tighten. Let's add a bead. As you're tightening up, just bring the bead up. Okay. There's our bead. This hand, bring it over, through, tighten. You can pull down on these, kind of lengthen them out here. So it's starting to kind of look like a scarf a little. Okay. Start to see the beads throughout. And again, don't worry about where they're at, front, back, underneath, crooked, doesn't matter. When you put this scarf around and you loop it around, the beads just kind of show through here and there. I'm going to do a couple more rows for practice. What I like to do, sometimes these get on top of each other, just kind of straighten them out. Make sure, so when you go to take them off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that they're straight. And then each time I just kind of pull down on this, try to straighten them out. But the best thing about this is it's fast, it's easy. Moving this to this. Grabbing with this hand, pull off the first, pull up that loop and stick your hand through. Let's tighten. Remember, no beads on this side. Always going to add it to our right hand. Or if you started the opposite hand, if you're left-handed, then do the back and forth and always add them on the left hand. Doesn't matter. Like I said, does not matter at all. Grab. Let's try to grab close to this wrist when we grab it so it's not too loose of a scarf. Bring that over. What we brought up, we stick our hand through. Tighten up. And you'll see some of the beads as you tighten up come over. Grab close to this wrist with this hand. Bring your next loop over, go through. Tighten up. Tightening up is just making sure it's kind of even. Grab this hand, pull the next one off, put your hand through, tighten up, grab with this hand, pull that off, whoop, go through, tighten up, grab, pull over, hand goes through, tighten up. Okay? It's getting longer. My stomach just growled. Okay. Let's put this on this hand, add some beads this time. Pull over, put our hand through, tighten up. Let's add a bead here. Okay, so I just brought it up my string and I'm going to push it all the way to my wrist. Right when I do the tightening, pull it tight to the wrist. Don't worry about it. Go to this hand, pull this over, go through, tighten up. I don't add a bead every time. I try to just do it every other. If you forget, I've done this. I've added 2 in a row, then didn't do 2, then added another one. Again, doesn't matter. This is very forgiving. Grab this hand, pull through, go in, tighten up. Let's add a bead. pull it up. We're going to tighten and push this up to our wrist. That's it. Grab this side, pull the next loop over, go through, tighten up. We won't add the bead there. We'll add it on this next one. Go through. Here's the beads. Grab one, pull it up. Right as you're tightening, leave it right there. Since we just added a bead right there, we won't on this one. Bring it over. Grab the two skeins. Push up to tighten. Kind of pull this down. Okay. See how it's looking? You can see some of the beads throughout. Right? Looking cool. I'm going to do two more. I'm going to stop, then do the rest, and come back at the end. Maybe do the last beads or last row and show you how to pass it off. All right. Okay. This going to this hand. Not adding beads because it's on my left. I'm only adding beads on my right. Grab. Pull over. So we got that open loop. Stick our hand through. Grab the two skeins. Push up and tighten up. Grab close to this wrist. Try to keep it tight. Pull the next one off. Pull up the loop. Hands going through. Tighten up. Grab. Over. Through. Tighten up. Grab. Over. Through. Tighten up. Grab. Over. Through. Tighten. Grab. Over. Through. Tighten up. Okay. Straighten these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Let's add some beads on this hand, okay? Take off. Go through. Let's tighten up. Let's add a bead. Grab one from the string. Slide it up. We'll grab our two yarns from the skein. Just push it up where you tighten. Okay, grab, pull over. Not going to add a bead there. Grab, pull over. Let's add a bead. Just pull one up. Got our two skeins. Tighten it up. There's our next one. Okay, grab, pull over, go through, tighten up, no bead there. Grab, pull over, let's grab a bead. Just bring it up, tighten up, there's our bead. Grab, pull over, no bead on that one. Okay, so that's it. All these beads left to go. Tails over here, don't care about it. That's how our scarf is looking. Good amount of rows there, beads throughout. So next one, we would go over here, hold this, pull all these over, no beads. When you head back, add some beads. I'd say I add probably every other, so I add 3 beads per arm, if that makes sense. So if I were to guess how many, I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe we did 9. It's hard for me to tell like this. Like I said, I'm going to do 26. Add 3 beads on your right arm every time until you run out. Okay? When you run out, you should be approximately at row 23, We're going to do 26 all together, so the last 3 will have no beads. And then we'll fasten off and then we'll weave in the ends. Okay? All right, I'll catch you back here in a minute. Okay, I just finished putting on my last bead and tightened up. We should have approximately 23 rows here. We're going to do 26 all together, so we're going to do 3 more and then we will bind off. 3 more. Off, on. So we should have no beads left. And now we're just going back to the arm knitting. Now, and let me tell you something I did, in fact, and it doesn't matter, was as soon as I shut the video off to finish the rest, I went to put some onto my right arm and totally forgot to add beads. Was I going to start over? No. So, left it, went to the left, add the beads there, and then continued to add them to the left. It doesn't matter. Don't take the whole thing off again if you forgot. I think I ended up with 4 beads in the last row. I said to put 3 on each one. I must have put 2 on one, 4 on the other. It doesn't matter. Do not start the project all over because you forgot a bead or you put the beads on this arm and not this arm. Just go back and forth. Doesn't matter, okay? 2 more. "26 rows, okay? Sometimes this last one seems a little loose. Don't worry about it. Pull as tight as you can. And what you can do, I noticed, if you pull on some of the ones next to it, loosen them up, that'll get that last one a little tight. But don't worry, if it's always going to be your loosest one at the end, okay? Now, we're going to end the scarf. This is how we do it. Same thing. Go through the loop, tighten up. Again, same thing as usual. Through the loop, tighten up. Okay, now this is where it's going to change. Let's get these straightened out, okay? So we only have 2 on our arm. Hold with this hand, okay? I'm going to take the back one. Bring it over that front one, over your hand. Oh, made it too tight, okay? You brought it over your hand, let it go. Okay, and then pull on your working yarn and just tighten it up to your wrist. Let's do it again. Okay, grabbing with this hand, because we have these that we need to get over. Pull the closest one over, okay? Just like arm knitting, we're going to put our hand through. We're going to tighten up, okay? Holding the working yarn with this hand. Bring the one furthest from your hand over the first one and off your hand. Just let it go, okay? Gonna grab that and just tighten it up some, okay? Grabbing with this hand, pulling the next one off. Going through just like arm knitting, okay? Grabbing with this hand, furthest one over, okay? You can let go of this, okay? Just let it go. Working yarn tightens it up. Grab with this hand. Good through, tighten up, okay? Grab them with this hand. One back here is going to come over. Pull that up, okay? Let go of that loop you brought over your hand. Working yarn tightens up. Last one, grab this hand, pull it through. We're going to put our hand through just like arm knitting. Tighten up. Grabbing with this hand. Furthest one back comes over to the front. Right? Let go. Tighten up. Very last one. Just take it off your hand. Okay? Let go. This is the end. Okay? Slowly just tighten up, make a knot. I'm going to grab my scissors. I don't have them in front of me. And I'm going to cut this, and I'll tell you how long. All right? Okay, so we finished our scarf. Here's our one end, which was our tail where we started from. And here's our last row where we made our knot. I'm still connected to my two skeins, so I'm going to cut it, and then we're going to join the two. Now I have a ton of yarn left over on my tail, so I'm going to cut where I ended. I'm going to cut this one probably a little bit shorter because I don't really need the length. If you don't have a lot on your tail, enough to weave through the two ends, don't worry about it. Before you cut off where you ended, make that long, okay? I'm gonna cut mine now. Okay, we're done with that. So, what we're gonna do, here's our scarf. And I don't know if you can see, but you'll notice that your scarf will curve up and in on the sides. That we want facing up, okay? So this is going to be the outside of our scarf. This is the inside, okay? We're going to join the two ends together. Here's my long tail right here. Let's see, and here's where we knotted off at the end. This tail, I still made it pretty long. A lot of people like to, just so it doesn't come undone, just take the two, if they're long enough, and just tie them. In fact, this tail is way too long. I'm going to cut it. Okay, so we'll take our two ends. And if you don't have enough to, tie it, don't worry about it. This is just going to make it maybe a tiny bit more secure. Just do a simple regular knot. Okay. And so, you could choose to take both and just go under and weave them both through, which, you know what, I think I'm going to do because this yarn's pretty thin. If you used a really, really chunky, super bulky yarn, you might not want to make this any thicker. You can cut the one short and just use the one end to go through. So we have our two ends together, and pretty much we're just going to kind of find loops on the ends to go under, come around, go under, come around, go under until we reach the top. So let's see. Let me at least make these the same size. Here's my end loop here. I'm going to go under there. Find the end of the scarf on the other side. Go under there. So what we want to do is come back over to this side, find the next loop up, and it doesn't have to be perfect, just find somewhere to go in there. If your loops are very tight, you could always try and thread these through a yarn needle and go through, or use a crochet hook to pull them through. This scarf's pretty loose, so. And loop over here. Don't pull it too tight where it bunches. Let's move up some more. Find our two ends. Go on that side. Let's go under here on this side. So we'll come back over, go under the one side and under the next, and we're getting to the top. Let's find the end. Here's the top of the one side. We're through. Let's find the top. Let's go through this right here. And we're at the top of the next. I think I'm going to go through one more time on the other side. Okay, and we're through. Okay, so we've weaved in the ends. We're at the top here. What I'm going to do, I grab my yarn needle. I'm going to take this last bit, not all of this, let's cut this shorter. So much extra yarn. And I'm going to take them. So now this, we took the two sides, put them together, weaved up. We got this tail end still. This is now the outside of the scarf, because remember we took it and put it up. So here's our outside. I'm going to take these and I'm going to weave them down into the inside here, okay? What I'm going to do is weave them into this thicker part. So let's take this, see if I can get all four in there. If not, I'll just do two at a time. Yeah, this yarn needle's not big enough to stick four pieces through. Let's see if I can get two of them in there. Yep. Okay. Two at a time. Let's just go in, find a spot, go into the thick part, weave it in, try to go into part of the loops that seem a little tighter, so we can really hide that in there. Pull them through. Let's go in one more time. Try to get down to the middle. Pull them through. Okay. Pull them a little tight. Snip. So when it pulls back, the little ends are hidden in there. So let's do it for the last two. Where did they go? Here they are. Let's get them in this yarn needle. Now if you used a thicker yarn, obviously it's not going to fit in this needle. Then I would just take a smaller crochet hook and pull that yarn, the thick yarn, through the end here. All right, so let's do the same thing. Let's go through here, pull them through. Okay. And go in one more time. Pull them through. I like to kind of pull it up some. Snip it close, not too close. You pull it back a little, give it a little tug. The little two pieces, they'll be pulled back in and hidden. And that is it. We have our scarf. So I always take the end that we put together and I lay that part on my neck. And then the rest is down here, which you can wear like that. You can circle it and wear it up. I'm gonna put it on the mannequin, show you how it looks.